Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at the Hegelian dialectics. That's a big word and a big term, but it's very, very simple, and it is before you on the board that a thesis is presented and an antithesis is also presented. Now keep in mind that the thesis and the antithesis is being controlled by the same group or same individual, so that therefore they are seeking an outcome or a synthesis. Now, it is explained a little more simply by the next bottom diagram. Simply create a problem, wait for the reaction, and then present a solution. In other words, the same force or the same group or the same individuals are in control of all of it. So the group presents a problem, a stimulus, then it waits for a response or a reaction, and then therefore will offer to you and to me and to anybody who will go along with it their solution. Okay? So those who are in control, and that could be a number of different terms. Some say the Illuminati, a specialized group. Not really. Everybody who works with the devil and loves the devil is an Illuminati. But a certain high-level group of Satanists or Illuminists, yes. It could be the term the elitists, yes. It could be the term oligarchists, the rule by few, yes. It could be any and all of these terms. What matters is that we understand there is a group in control. Now, oftentimes the media will make fun of people who, quote, believe in conspiracies. And yet history is replete with conspiracies. And most people will jump right away and say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Well, even the Bible has conspiracy in it. Psalm number 2. And that might be a subject for another video. But Psalm number 2 shows you that the kings of the earth are in conspiracy against the Lord's anointed. So there is a conspiracy in the entire world. But keep in mind, the same group, no matter what name you put on this group, is in charge. And they will present you a thesis and an antithesis and a synthesis. Or they will create a problem, wait for reaction, and they'll help control the reaction too, by the way. So they're in charge even of the reaction. They'll show you people panicking. They'll show you people fighting, when none of that may be true at all. Although there is some level of panic. I don't really see people fighting, but we do see mass panic today. And then they will present the solution. All right, so let's go down now. What is happening right now? And I'm going to take you down to the next, what I would call slide. It's just simple on the cork board here. Okay, what is happening today? Well, there you have it. Today, what is the problem or the thesis presented? A virus. What is the reaction or the antithesis? Fear. And once again, they're helping to control the creation of fear. All these are creations, but people go along with it and buy into it, so therefore then the fear actually does exist. Okay? So now we go down to what is the solution or solutions. And I'm just simply right now proposing two. I have another one in mind here. I'll give it to you verbally. Lockdown, put everybody in isolation. Lockdown in your home. Hospitals are locked down. Schools are locked down. even businesses are shut down, which is sort of the same as a lockdown. Everything's on lockdown because we're in a worldwide crisis. Now, what is the next solution? Well, the next solution is vaccination, and that is the one to watch out for. And I could talk a little bit about the polio scare, of which was, once again, the same thing we're seeing now, created and manufactured. And we can talk about the manufacturing of the outbreak of so-called, during World War I, where folks, many were killed by it, supposedly. But probably what really happened was that it was the vaccinations, because there was a high level of death among World War I soldiers. And that's a hint that maybe the vaccinations themselves caused some problems for people. But anyhow, it is creation of these crises and the reaction of people to the crises, and then the solution presented. But the solution might really be the problem. In other words, if you buy into it, then it does create problems, whatever you buy into. Now, I would like to suggest one more possible outcome of all of this, and that is the collapse of small businesses. Small businesses could collapse, and hence that would mean that larger businesses could swallow them up. Kind of like the little fish in the pond is now swallowed up by the big fish. And once again, this is all part of a scheme, the economic scheme. There's a group that's called the Chicago group that invented this whole idea and presented it on a global scale in small countries. Create a situation of panic and cause collapse of the businesses and economy, and then allow the big corporations to come in and swallow them up. So that might be what you're seeing here, that a lot of the small businesses are going to falter and fail, and then eventually all their customers and all their efforts will be swallowed up by something much bigger and much larger. So stay tuned for that. That could be one of the outcomes of all of this. Once again, all of it is in the control of a group. What we call this group is really up to anyone who wants to have a particular name, I guess. Illuminati. I'll try to call them the oligarchs, because that means rule by few, and avoid a lot of that terminology. But the idea is you create the problem, then watch for the reaction, and then present the solution. And the solution oftentimes will involve the loss of certain, what people call rights, which really are privileges in the false system. We only have rights in the true system, but in the false system they're just privileges. So loss of whatever you want to, however you want to see it, loss of your rights, loss of your privileges, that'll be part of the solution. That now we'll go to, you're only allowed out at certain times, and you're only allowed to buy so much of this or that, like a war economy. And this is related to my channel because it is kind of the same idea. This is a war. It's a war on your mind. It's a war on your body. It's a war on the economy. It's an attempt to do what the devil does, and that is to steal, rob, and destroy. And that is what he likes to do. He likes to destroy, and he likes to steal. So there's going to be a lot of theft, but it will be done in a sort of sophisticated way. Small businesses may collapse, and the larger ones will absorb them because they just cannot survive in this type of environment. So I've said a lot. I hope I have helped you in some manner or in some way. Please, if you have questions or comments, leave them for me. I'll be glad to respond to them. I don't pretend to know it all. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I'm struggling just like you are, and I'm struggling just like the rest of some really wonderful folks creating videos on YouTube to help us understand in this crisis, and I hope to make just a very small contribution to it all. Thank you for watching. End of video.